This is YouTube just WM. Human ancestors from the origin of life to present day. So let's begin. The last time we talked about the divergence from the lineages that will lead to humans, fungus, and animals from plants, and then the lineages that will lead to humans and animals from fungus. Now we're going to talk about the different from this episodes of protist, from protist from protist to proto animal. So we're gonna start with the hold on. Last time we also talked about the different cellular structure between the three kingdoms. Now we're going to fast forward. The first, we're going to talk about all the divergences, protist leading up to first true animals, except for the clay that where fungus and human animals and humans split around 1.4 BCE, 1.4 billion years BCE. I already talked about that. Sorry, just ignoring noise in the background. The oceans and the next clay is Bozoans, which is the last common ancestor of humans, animals, fungus, and two classes of protists. I'm not sure which one you look on Wikipedia under this class's name. I'll leave a link to Zoans. I'm not close, but I don't have time to. This is what I believe the common ancestor might have looked like. They diverged around 1 billion, 10 million years BCE. The Holozoans. Are the next two clades. They're the last common ancestor of between humans and animals. Sorry, just ignore that noise. I forgot to mention, this actually is the amorphosians, which are the common ancestor between last common ancestor of amoebas and humans, animals, and fungus. And the albizoans are these guys, the last common ancestor of humans, animals, fungus, and two clades of protist. Last common ancestor, the former diverged around 1.4 billion years BC. The latter 1 billion, 10 million years BC. And then the Holozoans is the next clade, the last common ancestor between humans and animals. These are the humans and animals in Infrasporozoa, which are last of parasitic protozoa until now we're in the protozoan. We'll get to that in the end. And then there's some protozoans, even some bacteria, archaean protozoans that moved into mud. Some protist and protist bacteria and there's some protist bacteria in archaea that live in mud flats or other coastal or transitional regions, or in brackish or freshwater, even on or flow at the top of the surface, or on through the water column on the bottom or under the bottom. in all aquatic environments. Philomezoa, which is the next. Philomezoa, which is the next clade. Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, I'll use this one. Philomezoa. This is the Philomezoa. The next clade of is Philomezoa. Protozoans is Philomezoa, which they split from. One lineage broke off. I forget which one is from animals and chromosomes. I mean chronoflagellates around 760 million years BCE. And then the last clade is the last clade is the chromozoa, which is the around which these again they split from. They split off around 750 million years BCE. Into the animals and flagellates, the proto animal, which would I think would have been on the line. Which would look something like flagellates. They would look more like this. The proto animals. Some individuals, and it would have been a colony of flagellate-like creatures. Some individuals would be used for. I mean, forget that. So the tail would have been used for propulsion, for speed, for avoiding, for catching food and avoiding becoming food. Some individuals would be used for the tail would have been used for ingesting or eating. Some individuals would be used for digesting and egesting or excreting food. I mean, basically for digesting or excreting waste. Some would be used for respiration or circulation. I mean, for breathing or like circulating blood. I have a circulatory system. Would be blood, yeah, something like it. Possibly. I'm not 100% sure. Some would be used for making for reproduction. And then they would eventually evolve into the this where each they don't have distinct organs yet, but each tissue is for each of those aforementioned functions. Digestion, egestion, excreting, which are both waste, dumping out waste, and also respiration, circulation, and reproduction. And then also some would be used for both some and then also eventually all on land the early microbes some protists might have lived in shallow marine floods and then also and then also sorry, just ignoring that in the record. Some animals would live in shallow marine, so shallow brackish mud flats, saltwater mud flats, freshwater ones. I mean, not animals, protists. Maybe some protists if there's enough water you get by. As well as the other some protozoans, as well as other protists, bacteria, archaea, and even viruses, which are semi-living things that's a whole other topic for another day. The earliest animals appeared in the ocean. Earliest animals appeared in the ocean. Talk about another time. We'll talk about next time. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. Bye bye.